It's arts and crafts time. And we're going to go into doing something with what you are now downloading to make your own deck. The goal is to eventually end up with that. That's what we're shooting for. And the reason that these are sliding so nicely is because they've been laminated. So I can show you a cheater's way, like if you have no place to be able to get a lamination done, we can also use packing tape, the clear kind. I've also, if you don't want to deal with this at all, just get yourself the AstroTarot deck or the one that has this kind of imagery. I have gone and changed the designs, put a background in it so that it gives it a little more personality, something that expresses the card a little bit more. The hangman has this gray background, and I tend to like to give it more of the universal feeling, which is how I sense how this card feels. Same thing with the magician. I wanted to give him much more depth instead of just the yellow background. And in some other decks, they have different backgrounds as well. But in this case, I put the computer design because the magician represents the mind, the way of the mind. So the digital age is perfect, the ones and zeros. So these are from the writer deck. And you can save yourself all this work if you just get a hold of one of these. All the pictures are very easy to work with because what you see is what you get. You don't have to figure out what is going on. What you're going to get when you download this are 4 pages. These are the major arcana, and these are the cups. The whole deck of 78 cards are in here. That's why there's going to be a lot of cutting. But if you want to do it on your own, that's fantastic. So when you get this, you go and you flip it over after you have downloaded it, and you get another piece of paper that is of thicker quality, whether it's cardstock or something that's a little heavy. And you can take your glue stick and just glue the heck out of the back. Just make sure that it's really slippery, because I noticed that when I didn't do that, they tend to separate because you'll be handling them a lot. So you just keep working it until the whole thing is just sliding all over the place. And then you go in and then just paste it on down to something that's a heavier stock. That way they become like cards. But there's no reason why you can't just cut up a piece of paper like this and use them. It's just that they're gonna fold and bend all over the place, and then you're gonna have to download another one, which is the good thing about being able to do this online. You could just download it. Well, you'll already have it in your computer. Just print up another batch. You'll figure it out as to what works best for you. I have noticed that when they are laminated, you could take them to some place like Office Max or someplace where they do offer lamination, and having it this flexible is very nice. It's a form of lamination that is more like tape, and they glue it together so this doesn't separate when you start cutting it. And when you cut it, you're going to go right along the edge of the lamination, just about, just a little bit away from the line, like maybe 1/8 of an inch. You go all the way around, and then eventually you end up having to go in between the lines, and then you'll have your deck. So you just go right through there, cut it up. You could go right in through, well, actually I found that if you go the short way, this way, it's much easier to cut the cards, to separate them out when you don't have as long a distance to cut. Then you can go between like this. And just find just about the middle. It doesn't have to be precise, because by the time you flip it over to do a reading, you won't know which card is on the other side anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And now you have the first row. And this is by having a company, or if you are a person who already does arts and crafts, you may already have a laminator at home. But for those who don't, you can take it down to some place and get it made this way. It does tend to bring the colors out better. I noticed that. It tends to make the colors more rich. So these are the 4 pages that you would then be cutting up. Cut out the sides, cut them across a short way, and then start slicing them down that way. If you don't have any way of getting a laminator or getting to a laminator, then you may wish to do it this way. And what I just did was cut 1 row out. I just cut it right down, and I have this one. And you can take regular packing tape, lay it down. Actually, we'll do it this way. And just find around the center. And now you've laminated one side. Flip it over and laminate the other side. And now you have lamination, laminating through just packing tape, which is basically what these were. It's a laminator that just has, they use a tape. And if you mess it up, it doesn't matter because you just print up another one. This is, it's free, right? And then you just cut it out. And now you've got yourself a deck. And eventually what I would do is, after you finish cutting it out, you just take your nail, your thumbnail, and just smush it down like this. This will really bring out the colors. Just mash it down. Take a spoon. When you do this, it actually makes the colors come out better. But this is another way to laminate. So, there's your lesson. Good luck.